Prime Minister Kishida met with President Biden in Washington recently. That meeting comes as Japan announced it would double its defense budget over the next 5 years in the largest military buildup since World War II. We're joined by Japan's ambassador to the U.S., Tomita Koji. Ambassador Tomita, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
What was the objective of Prime Minister Kishida's meeting with President Biden, and what came out of it?
Well, I think you do agree that this year, the year 2023, is promising to be a very consequential year, not just for ourselves, but the whole world, with the war in Ukraine, rising tension in East Asia, and continuing impact of the pandemic. And by the way, this is a very consequential year for Japan because we are going to chair the G7 process. So having a summit meeting at the very beginning of this challenging year was very important because our partnership matters greatly in taking on these challenges. So it was so gratifying to see the summit turning out to be such a great success.
You said it's a success. What came out of it?
Well, first of all, there was an incredible level of alignment of our interests and policies, which, quite frankly, I have never witnessed in the context of bilateral relations. And also, I should add the personal element. You know, watching the two leaders engage each other, there was a genuine affection and respect toward each other. And our two countries are connected at all levels, but connection at the highest level anchors the whole cooperation. So that was a very important aspect of the meeting.
And I mentioned that Japan recently announced that decision to dramatically increase its defense budget. How has the security situation changed in the Indo-Pacific that prompted that decision?
Well, when I do speeches in DC, I always say we Japanese live in a rough neighborhood. So I'm not naming names, but you know, the new strategy the Prime Minister had just introduced is a very serious reality check of our environment, security environment, and also the statement of strong intent to bring our defense efforts to the place where they should be, including, of course, the defense budget you mentioned at the outset. And
typically, Japan has been very defensive in nature. There's been an announcement, there's been reports about the intention to buy Tomahawk cruise missiles, which is an offensive weapon. Tell me about the defense strategy and how that might have changed.
Well, the new strategy will not change the defense-oriented, our security posture. But as I said, with the situation getting more serious in terms of security environment, I think we need to, as I said, bring our efforts to the level that needed to protect ourselves, also to maintain the peace and stability in the region. So that is a reason why we are making this effort. And we've been engaging our the friends and neighbors in the region to reassure that we are not changing our defense-oriented posture.
Mr. Ambassador, you say that the security situation is more serious. Can you be more specific as to how the military rise of China actually affects the security of Japan? I mean, they're not going to invade Japan.
Well, I don't think there's any immediate plan for China to invade Japan. But, the rapid build-up, military build-up in China has been a great source of concern for us. And a certain aspect of their behavior calls for greater attention, and so I think it's natural for the countries like Japan to prepare ourselves for any potential contingency. But at the same time, let me emphasize that China, after all, is the most populous country in the world, deeply integrated in global economy. So we do need stability in our relations with China. And also, we need to engage China in the global efforts to address the issues like climate change. So striking the right balance, between the competing policy objectives about very complex undertaking. That is the reason why we need such a close alignment of our policies between Japan and the United States.
Has there been any reaction to that announcement from Japan, from China, from North Korea, from Russia?
Well, of course, I wouldn't say they are happy with what we are trying to do, but I would say their reaction have been more muted than we expected. Let's put it that way.
How are the U.S. And Japan working together for emerging technologies, for economic security?
Yeah, that's a very important question because, you know, as we start engaging ourselves in so-called strategic competition, you know, there's been increasing awareness that the maintaining our economic resilience and competitiveness should be the very important part of our response. And that is a reason why, you know, we are doing efforts to maintain, you know, our technological edge, you know, protecting our sensitive supply chains, protecting our critical infrastructures. And I think there's a tremendous opportunity for two of us to bring together, join our forces together in making these efforts. After all, our two countries are very deeply connected. You know, Japan has been the largest foreign investor in this country, and the U.S. in Japan. And we are both among the technological leaders in cutting-edge technology. So I think there's a lot of opportunity out there for us to exploit to enhance our economic resilience and competitiveness.
Mr. Ambassador, what's the lesson that Japan has taken from Russia's invasion of Ukraine? What has been the reaction to that?
Well, the biggest lesson we are learning from the episode in Ukraine is that all the values we have believed in, rule of law, sanctity of international law, things like that, are very fragile. So, on the one hand, we have to redouble our efforts to strengthen the rule of law. And at the same time, we have to upgrade our deterrent and responsive capabilities once this order has been broken. So those are the lessons we are learning. And also the important lesson is our security is indivisible, because what's happening in Ukraine can happen in East Asia.
And I just want to end by saying it was 111 years ago that Japan gave the cherry blossoms to the United States, and we love seeing them in Washington every spring. So thank you very much. And Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for being on the program.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future Government Matters interviews.